Cool. All right, let's get you sorted. This is like the third, I think, 270 Kanna who's like hopping in the last little bit of time. I guess it's like is it like a pivotal point, or you're finding the upgrades to just be too expensive at this point, so you want to make sure you're on the right path.
Yeah, that's actually precisely what I was going to talk to you about. I'm at this sort of point where any upgrade that I make is going to be expensive. It's obviously going to be a hurdle. You know, I have to either reset potential or spend a lot of money to do like black cubes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I do have a few different options that I was looking at myself. I just the thing with my progression that I did over the past was I tried to optimize it as much as I could. So like for example, I would do all 17 stars, all 18 stars, then like once I had saved up enough, all 21 stars, that kinds of stuff. Now it's now I don't know where to go.
Okay, and so let's see what you've reached. So like, you know, usually I go over all the like peripheral stuff first, but since you're level 270, you probably have like a decent understanding of most of the cursory stuff that's in the game, right?
Right.
Is because you mentioned like meta stuff. Does that mean any kind of new stuff that might be on the way, or?
Yeah, like the 160 ring in particular. I haven't done any Oz, so if I did Oz, what that would end up replacing, and then Genesis Liberation.
Yeah, because you're doing Black Mage, right?
Yeah.
Let's see what your FAMs are at. Yeah, you need that one ID FAM, I imagine, because I think your emblem was at
yeah,
Magic
we
Attack,
struggle
right?
with that.
Yeah. 198. Yeah. So I guess optimization wise, I guess, yeah, one more IED couldn't even hurt at this point, right?
Yeah.
Probably pretty much a toss up. 214. Final damage. Yeah, obviously your final damage is a lot higher when you're in a party, and then you have like domain and the.
Yeah. That ID is without FAMs. It's just that's only decent in Haku.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So it's like 8 missing, 32.4.
I think my final IDs with FAMs is about 94.6 or something.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then you have a little bit more passives.
Yeah, Mage Link and that stuff. All that Links and Legion are at the bottom.
Scan boy.
Thanks, Wakara. Yeah, and then you have the crit inner, so that takes care of a lot of the problem with that. But you're not relying on crit on anything else that's as transient, right?
You mean?
Well, like the event buffs and stuff like that, I guess.
No, yeah, those are all off event buffs.
Yep. Okay. Backups. Red for superior. Oh god, you color coded it. Hang on. My new 160 ring. Yeah, wonder is if that's ever gonna be worth it. If Oz is the next step anyway, right? Question is if like transfer hammering into new ring, if that benefit is at all. I don't see that. You know, I have to like look specifically through all the equips again, but like if that specifically is gonna be worth it versus just focusing on Oz instead and sending other stuff, I'm gonna guess not. Feels like something to go into if you're not near that point whatsoever, but you might be past the point where I think that's sufficient. But we'll double check once we get through everything. Blue for superior, earring, transfer, yeah, prefer arcane replacements, and then the other ones. Those are your two real weapons. Because you like unequipped stuff as well, or?
Those were drops. I actually got a third the other day, but no, those are replacements for when I decide to tap. I have to tap my Haku finish one day.
One day, yeah. Tapping Hakufan is also kind of a scary thing in the sense of the efficiency that you get out of that is.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not that great, right?
At first, I have to, of course, roll 3-line on that fan.
Yeah, if to be
right now, I'm writing a
worth,
APSO.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm not really worried about that until that day comes. If it comes, God.
Yeah. If you do hit the, you're saying like if you roll a 3-line magic attack, then you can start thinking about the star forcing.
Yeah. It's already at 17. There was like a 5-10-15 some time ago, and I just YOLO'd it, and it went up. So I was kind of pumped about that.
Yeah, and fan drops seem to be plenty enough that you can kind of just try that.
Yeah.
This is your current future Haku fan. Oh, with a tier 7 attack. Yeah, it's always nice. Yeah. Okay, that's 716 already at 17 star. Jeez. Yeah. Replacement heart to pot. You have 2.
Oh, my current heart is 2-line with all stat. The 27. So I can red cube this one and not black cube my main one, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Oh yeah, you have 2 glimmerings. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot that was even possible. I actually just like skipped up on all of that. Some people do like some people got like a healing heart. Have you heard of that?
Oh, for real? Yeah.
I don't know to which extent it helps. I mean, it might be useful for Kanna's back when the the mana thing actually did damage. But from what I heard, some people went for like a heart with like 1 or maybe 2 lines of potion healing on it. Because apparently that worked on FAMs as well or something. So like in areas where you get heal blocked more to help with the survivability. Yeah, that is a bit sweaty. But I mean, if you're mainly more focused with just the survivability rather than the damage output, then that, you know, the utility value there could be worth. But yeah, for that I'm not 100% on how efficient that is, and yeah, like what level of sweatiness that gets into. But that feels like, I mean, if you're even thinking like beyond Black Mage, just like Saren, I don't think it would help very much, because Saren is all about just not getting hit at all. It's all about positioning and mobility and all that stuff. So there, even if you can survive HP wise, you know, if you get hit, you ruin the run basically. So it's going to be all about practicing.
Saren is far on the horizon. I would say after I liberate.
Mm-hmm. Well, but you said you're 6 months away from liberation, something like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that would give my symbols some time to grow.
Yeah. Flame scores. 150 HP MP, 1 8 luck, 1 miss at 1%, 8 miss. Okay. So the percentages used here, is this something that was like a number that you got from the calculator for yourself, or is it just something you used?
I did not know.
And have you, because once you get to this point, honestly, because there's so many moving parts, right, and everything is so insane, at this point I usually advise to just start like throwing everything into the giant calculator, which is free now. If you check that one out.
I have, yeah. I haven't updated it in a while, but it was about like 8.5 main stat to 1%.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've just been using it as a baseline.
Yeah. A lot of people do that, but then depending on what situation you're in, that could actually either sell you short or overestimate, like depending on where you're at, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're like very new and most of your stuff is epic, like a 1% all set could unironically be like equal to 18 or something. But then for endgame, I find that for most people, it gets pretty close to 9. And then for some classes, especially the ones with double secondary stats, it get like 10 or even a little bit above 10. Which does mean that if some of those flame scores do have more all stat in it than magic attack, it would scale a little bit better. And then like all the HP and the MP and the magic attack would scale down a little bit, right?
Right. Oh, shit, I actually forgot to include my conversion from magic attack. I did 2-to-1 for that.
Oh, yeah, because you have like an insane amount of magic attack, yeah. So it's like, yeah. I've heard from some people that it can scratch 3, but usually it's a little bit below that, yeah, because of the HP MP, the passive conversion as well.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit. Keep is should be able to tell what the arcane stuff is, but for CRA, that's insane. I guess the CRA hat looks the worst, quote unquote, out of all of this. Maybe the face and the eye.
CRA hat is an even 60 and 5, so.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I guess it would be, what is it, 105 if you did 9 stat?
Yeah, exactly. Then it gets a lot closer to the other stuff, right? And then when it comes to just 5 stats, but if it's 5 stats like post 100, that's like significant value difference with like outcomes for flame scores. And if you're going to calculate like, okay, what's the average cost for upgrading, etc., then you get like quite a significantly different picture. But I'm guessing for the eye and the face, you're not trying to push more beyond this. You're more like, I'm just going to keep this until I get pitched, I would guess.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then, yeah, like 60, near 60 plus on like earring and pendant. Yeah, that's just, and on the belt, like that's just always going to be good enough, I think. That's just a lot of work to get over that, and I don't think that's ever worth the money. If, from like what I saw, I think what's worth the money at this point is just like making cash, Oz rings, backups for Arcane, and then trying to send Arcane at 21. Like, that's the only thing I could see worth money, but then not even your weapon, right? Because that's going to get liberated, so it's mostly like...
Yeah, this is for, like, gloves, cape, and shoes then, right?
Yeah, what's your... you did mention shoulder, is that because that one's already there?
Yeah, shoulder's 21, gloves and cape are 19, and my cursed shoes are 17.
Yeah. You tried to send those already?
So many times.
Yeah, 19 is pretty simple, but then, because people are like, oh, the Arcane 17, we're never touching that. It's like, 19 Arcane is actually not too bad.
Man.
It's past 19, is it?
You'd think so.
That's where the nightmare happens. Yeah, you boomed a bunch between 17 and 19 too? Or where did they boom?
Oh, the shoes just drop. They don't boom. They just sap my money.
Just eat. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah.
It's like, just boom or go. Like, don't.
On fails.
Yeah. That's the worst. Because just all your money is gone, and then it's like.
Yeah.
And you're left with all the droplets, so
expensive.
it's like, I could still go again, but yeah, it is really expensive, especially if you're like safeguarding back up to 17 every time. That just, your money just melts. You're looking at your inventory, you're like, where did the last 50 bill just go? Yeah, it's just gone. Especially with the faster animation now, right?
Right. It's a lot quicker to spend.
Yeah. Which is good in a way. You're not sitting there for half the day clicking, but...
Exactly. I did have like 2 things in particular that I wanted to ask you in terms of advice.
Yeah, sure, we can start there.
Looking at the short term, I'm talking maybe the next 2 months or so, with maybe star forcing events that are coming up, cubing events that are usually supposed to be coming up. I know that usually every year we have a cube sale coming up on November.
Yeah.
And then usually right thereafter we have some 5, 10, 15. Because those events are pretty close in proximity, I wanted to ask you which would be best for me in terms of optimizing my growth, and where I would get more more goods for the same amount of money spent.
Yeah. Yeah, so usually the answer to that is like is backups, right? There's definitely some stuff that's higher on the list of expected returns. Like your heart, for example, you know, like if you're basically looking for 3-line on everything, so it's like the heart and then all the accessories right after that would be like the top pieces if you don't have 3-line on them yet to get the 3-line.
Really? For the cube sale?
Yeah, during like if you're purely talking about like percentages, when it comes to Star Force, like yeah, I mean I guess you could push the monocle, right, to see if you can get 21 there. But when everything is like 21, like if you get the monocle there, because, you know, even if you get a pap mark at this point, might not even be worth really investing into. You're just looking for an eye patch or nothing, right? Even if you get like a transposed to a pap mark and then you get that to 21, I don't know, maybe you reroll this one into Mezzo or something. Because like you're training at Cernium? Yeah.
No, Cernium will be, so I'm trying to mooch off of 2.5 as much as I can, get as much mezzo as I can out of there before I start expediting levels.
Yeah.
And I don't really see any point to push levels just because I have them, aside from having final damage bonus from Black Mage.
Yeah.
So I figure I'll keep farming at 2-5 until I start getting some pretty heavy mesa reductions, and it's not worth farming that anymore.
Sure. That means you're like still drowning in droplets then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that's not a... So that's a good part, though. That means that if you do end up going, like, sending the Arcanes further, it does mean that at least part of the expense isn't just getting the backups, that you already have that part covered.
Right.
So that helps. Yeah, like, Star Forcing-wise, the only thing I really would, like, on the short term see would be, like, the monocle. I think you can, like, pretty reliably just get that one at 21 with everything else. And then potential-wise, probably the heart, and then like the earring, and then maybe the monocle, right?
Okay.
And then
how about the
your tattoo was like 36, right? Yeah.
The other Kanna fan that I had.
Mm-hmm.
Should I work on that for the cube sale?
Yeah. So this one is 3.5. Yeah, the base is significantly higher, right? I've heard from some Kannas that they are like. They just keep it 17, like even if they're going into endgame for the Haku one, because of like comparative price. Like how much would you want to aim for on this? Like 19 or something would be like the ultimate max, right?
Yeah.
Because like much more than that would be like too risky for the payoff, I think.
19 or 18.
Yeah, yeah. 18. Well, with the backups, 18 should be free, but I guess if you have the no boom room, then that could be a good idea to go to 18, so you don't have to safeguard up to 15 if it does boom or something.
I thought the no boom room only worked to 15 star.
Yeah, up to 15. Yeah, but I mean, it just saves a whole lot of money
Oh yeah,
safeguarding.
okay, I understand.
Yeah, plus you don't have to like, oh, it dropped down to 12. The safeguard has been disabled. You know, that annoying thing. I almost want to just use that to get to 18 rather than a 15 because it's just so user unfriendly. Yeah, potential. Yeah, you're trying to. You have to roll 3-line magic attack, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have no other choice.
Yeah.
2-line is actually worse than my 3-line Abso, even though it has significantly less attack on it. So, but I ended up doing the math, and if I do end up getting 3-line, my attack increase. This is raw attack from the Haku buff.
Yeah.
Goes from 188 to 317 magic attack.
Yeah.
So it's 130, 140 raw attack.
Yeah.
Which is affected by the attack percent.
Yeah, the base plus the flame is just nuts. Yeah, the fact that it's already over 700 and it's at 17.
Yeah, just the thing that more I guess worried me about working on that was if I put an amount like 20 bill into this fan on a cube sale and I get nothing out of it, would that have been better spent on something else, or should I still have, taken that chance and try to get 3-line?
Well, at that point, you can kind of you can use the flame score again, right? So you could actually reduce everything to flame score to see how big the upgrade is to equalize it again. So you can make sure that you're equal. You're comparing on equal level, right? So let's say that you would be getting. Let's say it would be like 15 bill or something to get the monocle to 21 or something. You can check the bonus stats, see how much int and magic attack that is, and then have that be expressed in flame score. And then you can look at that magic attack that you just told me, and do that to flame score, compare the expenses, and then compare the flame score increase. And then that way you have a pretty equal comparison of like, what is this upgrade going to cost and how good is it for my account, right? So
yeah, just the thing about fans is because the potential is so RNG.
Yeah.
It could cost 100 bill. It could cost 5 bill if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
So
you're never gonna get rid of that insecurity. Like, well, yeah, you just have to work with averages, right? Use a calculator and like, for weapon, it's because it doesn't follow. Does it follow regular weapon? Because use
weapon.
it as a secondary, right? Yeah, but it doesn't follow. Thank God, because secondary has more weird shit in there that doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness.
And the difference between like weapon, like, is the difference between black and red significant? Because what if you just go like, fuck it, just go for 36?
It's more expensive, I believe, but I don't really have any point to because it's a separate fan. We don't have to hold on to any current
No, we don't have
lines.
this one. Yeah, and all of the, I mean, you're gonna see a lot of like attack and boss together, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wait. If you're specifically looking
I think that
for...
calculator has an option to give you do like 36% attack. Or like double prime attack.
It has 24. I don't think it does, unless I miss or overlooking it.
one of my homies told me, he's also a Kanna, and he rolled 36% on his Haku fan, and he told me that the average cost for it is somewhere upwards of $1 trillion. So that's like trying to roll 3-line crit damage or something.
Yeah.
But
yeah, exactly. Comparatively,
it seems very unlikely.
Yeah, the 3-line attack here with red versus black. Yeah, it's almost twice the costs.
How much is it on red?
Yeah, 42 to 60, so it's like a little bit more than half, like 60%. The problem is, of course, I mean, yeah, if you roll it with black cubes, and there's a small chance that there's a double prime in there, but it's still a tiny chance. There's like 20% on the second line and like 5% on the third line, right, to hit a prime?
Yeah.
Versus 10 and 1. Yeah, so, I mean, it looks like if it's I think double miracle time, does it take into account cube sale? No, it's only the T-Rups, yeah. So like off sale 60 bill for the 3-line on the... yeah, so like comparatively to the other upgrades, if you do, was it 160, probably no safeguard because you have some dineros, right? 18, 21, during a 5, 10, 15 on the monocle. Looks like 12. It's 18 to 19 to 20 to 21. How much is that? Like 40... Oh wait, you have the pieces. We can check, right?
Yeah, it's about
40 stat.
Extra stars, like maybe 40 attack.
Let's see. You're going from base 89. Oh, plus 90, plus 97, plus 118. So 30. Oh yeah, 41 stat.
Yeah, 40.
And 42
to
attack. Yeah. So it's like reduced to stat.
And that's how was it? Was a 12 bill average?
Yeah, median like around 8 and then average around 12. So yeah, it's always a little bit curved up, right? So I mean, you want to set aside 12, but expected cost is somewhere between like 8 and 10 most likely.
See, the reason why I'm hesitant to want to work on the monocle is because what if that pat mark drops? I mean, my luck is pretty dog shit for those kinds of bosses and pitched boss that drops just in general. But if it does drop, that's an extra star, along with the extra like 60 flame score that comes with it, which already outperforms this 18-star raw monocle, like 16-star transposed pat mark.
Yeah, you'd be looking
I
at...
wouldn't want to redo it solely just because I wanted to have some sort of gain early on.
Yeah.
I'm in no rush. I wanna figure out and plan this as best as I can. Hence why I'm actually here in the first place.
Yeah, sure. Well, main thing that so I mean, it's totally up to you if you like want to take it or not. But like, I think just planning around when you get a pat mark. Yeah, you could get one next week. You could get one in 6 months.
Yeah.
If you're trying to like efficiently upgrade and you're considering like a weapon that's going to be 60 bill and upwards, but you're not making like the like 8, 9, 10 bill upgrade that gets you probably like half of that, right? But you're spending the one that is like 5 times as much for twice the upgrade. from like an efficiency standpoint, at least I have to highlight the possibility, right?
That's true.
But yeah, it's totally up to you if you're like, well, I would feel worse getting a pat mark and then knowing I spent the money than not spending the money and knowing that I kind of could have made an upgrade there, and I kind of missed out on that. That's totally a position I can agree with too, because it's not like if you go from 18 to 21 monocle that suddenly you're like soloing the black mage or something, right? Like nothing specifically is going to change. If you do end up going to Cernium or Burnium though, if you do have like a 21 monocle and then you do end up getting a pat mark, you can always like redo the function of one of them and then make one of them like a meso obtain one so that you can go into meso gear while still clearing at a good speed, for example. That is also something that you know, they can get a second life that way. And that's what a lot of people have done with like old transposed gear, you know? Like people who worked on the Sweetwater earring, for example, when the set bonus was different for Gollux. And then you can just redo the potential there and you have a very solid base stats item that can help you still have a very high clear speed. And if you're strong enough there, and you're like, well, I didn't even need that much damage, well, that means you can move up to Burning Cernium, you know? And then maybe if you're strong enough, if that's even like a little bit too low, you go back into damaging gear and maybe you're even in Hotel or something, you know, with reboot passive change, with the HP cut on the monsters, all of that stuff, if you have enough sacred power. So there are like options there to recoup some of that value, but comparatively, if you're looking at like a possible, what is it, like 50 to 60 bill, or like 50 plus 50-55 bill upgrade on the weapon for a significant upgrade, definitely, but you're leaving the monocle because you could be getting a pat mark. Again, it's totally up to you. You can be like, that's not worth it enough, but I just feel obligated to highlight it because I would do it personally, because
right.
I've had plenty of characters with pat marks, but even then I know they're like far and wide in between. Sometimes you get like 3 back to back and then you don't see one for a year, and it's a little all over the place. Yeah. Okay. In the grand scheme of things, if you have like your entire account, if you spend 10 extra bill on one item, I don't know if you're gonna suffer from that, you know? But that's, again, that's up to you. So other than that, I would probably be looking at the potential, like specifically the heart, right? Because that has low amount of junk lines, so that's typically very cheap to get 30. Some people even just push that to 33 because of like priority with things. We can look at that, but it's like 30 stat, heart, red, what is it, level 120? It doesn't really matter that much, but what did I mess up?
5 bill or something like that.
Oh, desire set any. Lol. That reset for some reason. 4, 5, 6 bill for like 3% stat, and then that's why people go for 33. Yeah, see, that's like crazier with red cubes. With black cubes, it's 30 to 45. Yeah, so that's still a little bit out there. But when it comes to upgrades here, like this is more reasonable, right? And then I think, what else was it? Your earring, I think?
Earrings are 27, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. I am blind. Oh, it's under accessory. Boom. No, stop doing that. Yeah, so 6, 7, 7.5, maybe up to 8 for 30 stat. And then 33 again is kind of yikes. Even with black cubes, that's not reasonable at all. And I guess your monocle, but the same reason, you were not going too hard on a monocle potential. That falls under accessory as well. So that would be level. Oh no, wait, I'm putting on the wrong level here. But 160. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. Probably like, average around 8 bill for that, and that's currently 27, right? So that would be a 6 increase. So like potential wise, it's probably even bordering the same kind of gain, or maybe even more efficient gain than the heart, because there's 3% to gain there. Even if you're just going for 30%, that's pretty affordable. But yeah, you're losing 17% all stat, so that's the counter there. So you have to be sure that you're basically going 33 or nothing. You did end up 36 on the tattoo, right? Did you get that on red cubes?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Wow, look at that. That's like a median 80, average 150 bill.
Yeah, it did not cost that much. I'll tell you that for sure. So I saved a lot of money there.
You throw enough cubes, and you're gonna hit some nice things. I mean, even just like regular 3-line on the hat is pretty expensive. Do you have another hat? Like are you like up to speed with like the cooldown reduction and stuff, and what the value could be from that?
Not really. If I made one, I would only be able to use it for Cernium. For 2.5.
Yeah.
For such a marginal effect on my... I have no problem with push-up time. So...
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Because that's the only thing it is, right? It's just like uptime for the summon?
Yeah, for Kish. To make it...
for Kishin as well?
Push-up time, and then...
And the
Lucid Soul,
Lucid Soul,
is completely useless in Cernium.
Yeah, it does absolutely. Yeah, even for mages. Imagine if a non-mage tried to use their summons there. That's the main reason why I changed my summon on my arc as well, because I had the Magnificent Damien, which could like 2-shot in Limina, but in Cernium, it was sad. So I was like, yeah, time for you to go. So I switched to the Mugong for now for the little bit extra burst, but I don't know if I'm going to keep that long term. Maybe reroll to a 3% attack. We'll see. Which one are you? So on your main weapon, are you using that, or are you like checking like maybe going for like a bossing weapon, mobbing weapon kind of deal?
On my current Arcane pin?
Like your main weapon, yeah. That's the one down here,
should
right?
Be,
yeah.
Should be one of the first things, I think.
Oh, that's the
so I actually went in order of like from top left to bottom right.
Yeah, okay. So it should be here. Yeah. Yeah, that one's got the that one's got the Lucid on it, yeah. 17. Yeah, it's pretty min-maxy, right? I mean, it's 3%, up to 3% magic attack. That's not too hard, quote unquote, to get, but that's a huge investment.
Dude, I've thrown like 20 mag souls at that thing.
It's just not going.
Luck is not there for me. No.
And then if it doesn't hit anything, you just put another normal Lucid on.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, I'm saving for the Genesis weapon.
Yeah.
All my souls, so.
Exactly, yeah. So are you doing that? Are you doing a bunch of extra normal boss runs? Like the Queen, Vellum, Magnus, those kind of?
No, not any insane amount. I just have a few saved up.
Okay.
Just for the Genesis weapon. And if it goes, it goes. If not, I can just put a Lucid Soul on and whatever. I'll have my Timber Stillies if I need keys or something.
Yeah, okay. When we say few, is it like 3 or is it like 20? Because some people will undersell or oversell.
No, it's like it was about 16 or 17. I've thrown. It's so unlucky.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that you've tried now, and and how many do you have left? For like the.
I have 3 saved right now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have a Magnificent event soon, right? So that should add some.
Yeah, that's coming really soon. Is it this weekend or next weekend?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly, but it should be soon. Yeah, I mean we've been waiting for a while. We haven't had one in a hot minute. What is it? This weekend is the 17th. Yeah, this weekend. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, hopefully we can make that 3 into like a 6 or a 7 or something, and then we can pray that there is one in there. Yeah, all of these potentials are all really solid. I hate rolling CRA. Honestly, I feel like 9 all and 18. I'm like, fuck it, keep that. Like I would always do the heart and the earring, and then maybe even the monocle. If you up to do that before, I probably. Yeah. I don't know, but I'll probably even do the cape even before the pants, honestly. Well, that's the only one, right? Is the cape? Because your shoe's done.
Cape and a reinforced ring. My reinforced is at 27. But okay, so that's another question I had was
ring would
which
be
of my 4 rings would I end up replacing with an Oz ring?
Yeah, true. They're all 21 and the 22 on the Meister, right?
22.
Yeah. So Meister's, since the Meister's 22, like that one's definitely a keep. So that one, rolling the potential on that one would be like at the same point as the earring, basically. And then the reinforced, I think is slightly stronger than Kanna Treasure, right? 102
Yes.
and
Yeah, actually quite
68.
considerably so.
Yeah, the further you go, the more.
If I got it
Yeah.
3 line. If I got it 3 line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so right now it's probably a little bit weaker. Well, 3 all stats. So you're looking at like 27 flame score, 4, 8.
It is weaker, actually. I've checked.
3.
It's right now the ring that I replaced with Curring, but
Yeah.
in the in terms of optimization, if I were going to tap to 22, I also wanted to get your advice on that.
Mm-hmm.
I would end up not replacing the reinforced ring. I would end up going replacing the Kanna's treasure ring. Since it's 21, I don't need to work on it. But yeah, what are your thoughts on 22s? At this point.
Yeah, so you seem to be like way more dedicated to one character than I am. I'm like totally fine with just like staying 21 forever, pretty much. I feel like I can do anything that I want to do with that. But it seems like you want to get more out of your one character than I do. So it's a little bit up to your own discretion. But I would definitely like, and that's like the right question to ask is like which one is gonna get replaced with like an Oz ring or with a Kur ring. In certain situations, and as a result, that one I would not even try to go for 22 on. I would just try to get the other ones to 22, and maybe let the decision be guided by what can I get most backups for. So probably the kind of treasure, because I think it's easier to get backups for, unless you have like, but I don't think you have that many. But if you have like 6,000 Gollux coins lying around or something, then you could be like, well, fuck it, I'll just do the reinforced.
I don't.
Yeah.
I wish, man, but I don't know.
Because for like the terms of like big expenses, you're looking at like switching out that Haku fan and then trying to get the other Abzo pieces to 21, right? That's where I would go like more ham than this. I would, yeah, like going for 22 on these stuff, on these things, if you have a lot of backups, is probably just before getting Arcanes to 21. But if you have all the droplets already for Arcane and you have the boss drops for backups and everything, all you just need is the mezzos and you need a 5, 10, 15. And then I would almost put it at like the same level, like whether you go for 21 on Arcanes or whether you pop the kind of treasure rings to 22. I would put that about at the same level. Yeah. But yeah, Ozring, yeah, like a big like ROR and stuff is or Weapon Jump 4, right? Those are supposed to be huge. And you're very burst heavy because of your Sakuno's Blessing plus Domain.
Yes.
That gives you insane damage, especially if you switch the Haku fan over. Extra 130 weapon attack, magic attack is going to be pretty nuts. Even if the individual value for magic attack is not as high as you would want, it's still a huge chunk, of course. Especially during Black Mage when it's pretty much all bursts all the time until you get to phase 4, right?
Yeah, exactly. And another, I guess, pull for me wanting to work on that Haku fan, getting that 3 line, is that it's not just a boost for myself, it affects all my party members. And I know certain classes like Arc, for example, make use of that magic attack too. So it would be helping the party as a whole, I guess, in the long run.
Well, Arc's limit for being able to use magic attack is actually quite low, so it wouldn't help us that much.
Okay.
Like like the limit of, I feel like the amount of, I don't know the exact number, but it's like the amount of magic attack that we can, the amount of weapon attack that we can gain, I think is only up to like, is it 10 or 15% of the base attack of our weapon or something. And usually we get enough magic attack just from Star Forcing because that always gives weapon and magic attack, right? So if you add all of that higher Star Force magic attack, then Arc is pretty much already taken care of. But it's mostly if you have other mages, of course. Other mages in your party will get a big benefit, right?
Right. Okay.
But I don't know how many other mages are running in your party.
None.
Okay.
None of my parties actually.
Unlucky. Yeah, mages rise up. Come on, guys. Where you at? Jonah, six-man Kanna Black Mage party.
Okay. So another question that I had for optimization, from an optimization perspective, was Arcane versus Monocle and what else was there? Just Star Force. Is that it? Yeah, I think it's just Monocle at 21. Do I need to prioritize getting an Arcane to Arcane to 19 first, and then try and tap them to 21, or do I focus on getting that monocle to 21 first?
Well, wait, your Arcanes are all 19 already, right? Except for your weapon?
Shoe.
Oh, right, the shoe, yeah.
Shoe and,
Mhm.
yeah. Weapon I'm not so much worried about. Because the dual liberation, I don't need to really sweat it too much.
Yeah.
Might as well save for the Genesis weapon.
Wait, do you guys do dual liberation? Oh, you mean duo doing the runs 2 people? Yeah, yeah, never mind. Because you can only get 1 liberated, right? Even if you're a Kanna, and then you just put your... Well, you basically keep the same Haku fan if you're gonna be working on this one. Even your new one isn't gonna be better because
I
the
can't
flame.
get a second Genesis fan for
Yeah.
Haku. Unfortunately, that'd be busted. But yeah.
I guess then this one would become, at that point, you would finally have the distinction between like a mobbing weapon and a bossing weapon, right? Maybe if this one has like arguable magic attack,
Well, like,
and then this one gets the Lucid Soul, and then the Genesis will get like the magic attack.
right.
Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah,
that makes sense.
for the to the extent that the Lucid Soul can do anything in whatever area, maybe in like a year or 2, if the Sacred Power is there and the areas and some more crazy power creep, then maybe they can finally start hurting.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Well, if there's an event, I'm guessing your income is to the extent where you can probably reliably get the shoe to 19 and the monocle to 21. With how much time is in between 5, 10, 15s, right? I don't know if you have to prioritize that. You'd have to be really unlucky to not be able to do both.
Yeah, I was also thinking about doing the cube sale too, which is like the purpose of this entire conversation.
Yeah,
so depending on how much time there would be in between the cube sale and the 5, 10, 15 thereafter, I could be completely broke after the cube sale. Who knows? Hence my question, which one should I focus on first if I'm limited on funds?
At this point, like, cube sales seem to be way more rare than Star Force events. So I would then prioritize the cube sale, honestly. Okay. Because it seems if we do have one of those, like...
Oh, no. Like, sorry, I may have worded my question wrong. Okay. After the cube sale, after I've already spent, because I know I'm going to be spending. It's a great event, and it's, like you said, very rare. That 5, 10, 15 historically has been really close to that cube sale. And say I don't have enough to work on both. Which one do I focus on first?
By both, you mean both the Arcane and the monocle, not both the cube sale and the... Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Since you have the backups, well, comparatively, we can look. I don't think... Shoes, 5, 10, 15... I mean, I would just let the numbers decide, honestly. Safeguard, shoes, 17, 19, 15, you might start catch a little bit, right? If you're gonna do Arcane, 17 and 19.
Yeah, definitely. For Arcanes, anything.
And the other one was... Yeah, so the Arcane is cheaper. Arcane is 2-star versus 3 on the monocle, so the shoe will be a little bit lower in the upgrade, but also cheaper. And how were you in Dineros? You had like 2,000?
Almost. Getting Dineros is not a problem. I have a whole basically 2 months before that 5, 10, 15.
Yeah. And you have your Dreadnought?
And I what? Sorry?
Do you have the Dreadnought upgraded or no?
I don't, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it'll take a little bit longer. Oh yeah, you can stack the Dineros now. Huge quality of life improvement. If you need etc. room, I don't know if you're clamoring for that. Yeah. So so you did like the short voyages, like the Dolce de Rosa, whatever the optimal. Yeah. Okay. Well, even then, it's like 250 for a backup. So you've got like 5 already.
Something like that.
It should already be plenty, but yeah, you want to have a little bit more of a safety net. Yeah, if you only have money for 1. I mean, because the shoe is going to stay the shoe, and because the monocle, you're already a little bit hesitant and could always, get the pat mark, I'd probably prioritize the shoe. That seems like with both what you want and, like, money-wise, they seem about equal, so I would go for the one that is the least likely to put you in a position where you feel bad about your choice. which is probably going to be the shoe. Because even if you boom, you have the droplets, and there's no other value for the droplets really, other than giving a bunch of other characters arcane sets, which I don't think you're inclined to do, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I probably do shoe first then, and then a monocle second. Yeah, lower priority. We're getting a cube
Sweet,
sale.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, like historically we've been getting cube sales around the end of the year. Nothing is announced yet, so don't like always keep it like in the back of your head that it might happen, but like don't. There's not like a date known or anything, and it hasn't been announced at all yet. So
Yeah.
But last time it happened, it was really close, which was really annoying, because I think the cube sale was like on well, was it on a Saturday, and then the Sunday right after was like the 5 at 15 or something, like literally the day after. It was something like that, which of course.
I do remember the 2.5s being packed.
Yeah.
Couldn't find a map.
Yeah, everyone farming like crazy to get their last minute cash. Yeah, it's a normal bug. Yeah, fucking mosquito is flying here. But yeah, because I don't see any like major oversight on like flames, and I'm pretty sure if I threw like all of the flames into a calculator, like the expected cost there is so high, and since we don't have events, you want to be at a situation where basically everything is 21 and 22 Star Force wise, and all of the like I think it's fine to keep like CRA and maybe Arcanes to like 2.5 line, but I would usually always push for 3 line on hard accessories. On those and then probably on WSE before even on CRA, honestly. Which is pretty much what you've done. Yeah, so it's not like it's not crazy. It's not crazy to say, right?
CRA.
But yeah, you do. Yeah, because it's just depressing. Plus, it's only that 3% stat on your total account. You can do without that. That horrible suffering in your life. You'll make up the 3% somewhere else. And then you can start talking about like maybe pushing hard on flames,
Okay, so because of bossing, I don't know if this is the current flame nerf is intentional or not, but
yeah.
say I do have a steady income of a few boss flames a week. Where do I need to put those? Because right now, I basically, if you look at the flame score screenshot, I've got everything where I kind of want it to be.
It's a little lower,
CRA hat's a little bit lacking, but where should I be throwing those extra flames that I get per week for the long-term basis? Where should I be throwing them?
Yeah, so someone was telling me that it might be a good idea, and I hadn't really looked at it that way because, again, I don't min-max as hard. What I do is I look at like the next character over that might become a bossing mule, and then I start throwing them on there, because like the expected value per flame on those characters is insane for me compared to the expected value on your main character on any item. Right, like it's like a 99.3% chance that you're gonna downgrade, and you put it on a mule, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a 20% chance for a downgrade and like an 80% chance for an upgrade or some crazy shit. So like the expected value per item is way higher there. And then I like playing a lot of characters. I like having bossing mules. I like having diverse content for me. So that's where I see the value. But I don't know if that's something that you're thinking about, something on the side. What someone told me is that honestly you should probably just always be looking at which character can still have like a decent flame score increase, and then you're basically just always looking at the arcanes first, right? And then just all the Eternals you can get, you throw it on there, even like the Legion Eternals, all of the event Eternals, just until you get an increase, and then you move on to the next one. So I guess in your situation that'd probably be the shoes, I guess. But I would double check like with if you do the calculator again, to get the accurate ratios and to translate the flame scores under your current accurate ratios instead, to make sure that you definitely have those, because there's a bunch of them that are going to be close, so you want to make sure that you're working with the correct numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then again, like you have a calculator for the upgrade cost as well, right? Like you can see on average, like what number would you go for? Yeah, and then it's basically just a numbers game again. Like, okay, like who has the lowest number there, and then that's like your number one priority. You hit any kind of upgrade, cool. Compare again. Is it still lowest? You keep going. If it's now not the lowest anymore, move to the next item, until those numbers just become so crazy that you're like, okay, this is just like like 99.9% chance of not hitting an upgrade. Like this is kind of silly. 1 in 1,000 flames.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what the number is there. I think most people go for upgrades that they can get like every. I think it might be like 500 flames or something. You know, like a point. What is it? A 0.2%? Yeah, something like that. So like a 99.8% chance for downgrade, 0.2% chance for upgrading. Because like even your shoe, if we keep, well, you said you took 2 and 8, and 8 here, and you ended up with 136 for level 200 armor.
I had HP as well, so you might need to follow the Kanna class thing.
Right, true. Yeah. You put 150. There you go. Yeah. Maybe not this one. Wait, really? It's supposed to be the high flame adventure. Oh, it readjusted. I don't like where sometimes you change something and then he readjusts it's one of the parameters you've already put down. I'm like, this number makes no sense. Yeah. So see, for the shoes, this is like a 200 to 300 flame one, 2 to 3 bill cost on powerfuls. That is not like, that's not insane, you know, with all the other numbers we've looked at. That is something valuable, but like, how much would you go for? Would you go for 137? Do you want to hit at least like a 145?
So 140, I would say like 130 raw without any HP, and then if there is HP that pushes over it to like an insane amount, like 145, like you're actually putting it, then it might be worth keeping. Yeah,
exactly. So that's like closer to like 5 to 6 billion just on the flame, and then you're looking at that 5 to 800 flame stuff, right? If you're like 140, I think once you get to like the average flames, once this gets to around like 500 powerful flames, that's probably where most people are like, yeah, at this point, you know, if there's a compensation and you get 12,000 of them, sure, you go ham, right? But if you just are going by like little chunks or even spending like 5 bill, you're just doing it because all the other upgrades are just insanely expensive. At that point, any kind of flames you do get, I usually just start chucking. So you'll reach that point later than me, but once you get to that point, you just start chucking them at other characters, and then because the expected value of the individual flames is going to be way higher there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, get some nice weapon flames, maybe some CRA if they have it, you know.
Yeah, because that's what I used to do with my pink bean cup. I just had one that I wore all the time, and then I had a second cup that I would just add flames on, and then I put a ridiculous flame score on my cup, so that kind of stopped me from doing that. But yeah, okay, sweet.
Yeah, because you could throw that one in if you want, right? Because it fall under armor probably, right? And then 140, and then you have, what did you have, like 118 or something?
115.
115? Well, say that you want to go for 118, right? Yeah, looking at like 10 to 15.
It was 115 without HP, so.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so in order for you to be an upgrade, for you to want to, yeah, you're looking at like median 1k, average 1.5k, like. Again, like during the compensation, some people pull some insane flames, right? Because if you get to use like 6,000 flames, there is an okay chance that you pull like a 1 in 20,000. That happens because there's just power in numbers. But a lot of people are like, oh, you should be like aiming for higher flame scores now, and like, oh, you have to adjust like what the expected flame scores are that you want to look for in the progression of the game, right? And I was like, no, because that's not realistic, right? You're never gonna be like, oh, I'm just gonna throw like 28 bill in flames on this one item now. Like, that's not a, like, you'd never get to that point basically. So yeah, as long as you're like good, I think you're like well centered for all of these. Yeah, these are like pretty crazy end game. Maybe these are a little
yeah,
wishful thinking.
I do have 2 last questions.
Yeah, go for it. Sure.
First one is related to everything that we've been talking about. So I've been like asking questions about the short-term stuff, what I need to work on that cube sale and on that 5, 10, 15. Talking about the long-term now, if say I want to compare myself to where I'm going to be in like 7 or 8 months, what are, in terms of spending mezzo on flames, cubes, or Star Force, what should I be focusing on the most? After I say get 3 line on that secondary, or like 21 that monocle, 21 arcanes, what's next?
After that, it would probably be flaming and getting all of them to how far you want to get them. Wait, you said Star Force first?
No, and any of the 3.
So yeah, potential on the secondary Star Force, and then the potential on like the heart and the accessories that are not 30 yet, right? Yeah, and then it'd probably be flames, like just to make sure that they're all like on the point where you want to get them, and then it's gonna be like 22 on the accessories that are not gonna be like replaced by an Oz ring. So it's probably gonna be like the Sweetwater stuff, the Superior stuff, and the whatever rings are left over, because your CRA is already all 22, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
CRA, belt, and Meister ring.
Yeah, unless you get a pitch boss, and if you do get a pitch boss, then you hold, and you get like a 21 pitch boss or something, then you hold off on getting 22 on the other piece, I'm guessing. Yeah, because considering your state of your account, or if you go for 22 first, maybe you try to get the pitch boss to 22 or something. I don't know, like something crazy, depending on what time frame they end up at. But yeah, it'd probably be like 22ing on the stuff that gets more backups by then. Yeah. So you'll have more Gollux coins, you'll have more dineros, you'll have more Kanna treasure rings, etc., etc. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully you can get a bunch of Dominators by then if you end up blowing up the pendant a few times. So you can send a bunch of those.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How about separate topic, because I do not like to work on this too much. I freaking hate Legion. I hate Legion so much. And it's something that I do want to work on in the future. Eventually work toward getting 8K. Is that, what is it, 40% boss damage that you get from Legion is pretty massive.
Yeah.
And it's like, I would guess like it's roughly the same amount of time spent. Just instead of farming, it's just working on individual characters.
At a certain point, it's going to be far and beyond way more efficient to work on that. Yeah, you're
right.
Yeah, probably.
So I was
going
to ask you. Yeah, I was about to ask you. At what point do I need to start working on Legion? Getting at 8K.
I mean, honestly, when you want, like from an efficiency standpoint, I would have already done it, right? Because again, and to go back to the progression grid, right? Like you're at like the end stage here. I would like advise people to be at least at 7K at the situation where you are, and like going towards 7.5 and working towards 8K, honestly. Like at least, quote unquote, but like higher there would definitely be fine. So from an efficiency standpoint, yeah, definitely do it, but it comes down to what you enjoy, because if you just like playing on a Kanna more and grinding it out and then compensating those stats that you don't get there with something else, and that's more fun for you, then by all means keep doing that, because if you're going to force yourself something that you don't really like doing at all, you might end up burning yourself out. So honestly, do like the minimal amount every day that doesn't make it unfun, and then, you know, because you're talking about midterm, long term, and you're already planning like 6-7 months ahead. If you do a little bit of Legion every day, then in 7 months you'll have 8K, right? The main thing is if you wait for the perfect opportune moment and then go super hard and then burn out on Legion super hard. I don't know, if you get, you know, one big push, you might get to like 7K, but the next big push is going to be harder. Maybe you get to 7.5, then you do another one, you get to 7.8, and it's like, oh, I'm so close yet so far away. But if you do just a little bit the whole time, it might help. So what I did, it was, you know, using those cubes, using those flames, right, that I didn't really use on my main anymore, slowly start trickling down into the next character that I was going to level, like a level 140, 150, whatever. And then from there on, just until they got to the point where, okay, this character is strong enough, I've got Monster Park buffs, maybe there's a cool event, maybe there's some experience coupons, maybe I did some Monster Park, etc. Now I'm just gonna rush this guy from 140 just to 200. If I don't get there, if I get to 170 or something, that's fine too, then I'll finish him the next day. And if you do like one character from 140 to 200, which you probably have like 30 of those, right?
Yeah.
Even if you do it in like in 2 days per character, if you do it in 3 days per character, right, you just do 1/3 of the way, then you just need 3 months to get to 8K. So it's not that bad, right?
I didn't think about it that way.
You just do a little bit. If you just do enough every day to make a difference, but not enough that it's like, oh my god, my entire day is like Legion, fuck me, right? Because then your whole mood is shot, right? You don't want that either. And then maybe some days you feel like doing a little bit more, and then some days you feel like doing it less. Once you get really close, you'll probably be like, fuck it, I'm just gonna crush it out because I'm so close, and you'll do like the last 2 in a single day or something to be like, so you can be done with it forever, kind of thing. Because yeah, 8 cages is worth it. All the pieces get bigger. You just get to put so many more characters in there. And like you said, you're basically going to be able to fill the whole boss damage. You could even be able to fill out some critical rate on top of that, which means that you could also divest in link skills and even get more damage from link skills as well, comparatively.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm at like 8.5 now, which is only 1 character different, right? The 8.5 or 8 is just, that's not worth at all. Just don't do that, especially not if you don't like it. So if you, well, and I have the lab pieces. So like if you think away the lab pieces,
yeah.
So we take this one away from now, and then what's the other one? This one, and then 1 piece, right? And then one of these pieces would go here, right? There's like a little bit of a bulge here, but there's like 13. That's up to like 15 extra critical rate on top of that. If they're all
15?
200.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that.
Yeah, because I have a level 3 Phantom Link right now. It's at.
That's 20%, right?
Yeah, that's 20%.
Yeah,
but you have an extra 1 piece, so that's like 4 slots, 4% for damage.
Yeah, so it took 1 piece away, and then the 2 and then the 2 lab pieces, and it still leaves you with 15% in crit.
15%.
Yeah, so you know your hyper stats are low. You put a little bit more in hyper stats, and you can take the entire Legion, the entire Phantom Link away as well. And
would that be justifiable to take off Phantom Link for like another damage link versus just putting it into magic attack and main stat?
Well, that would be like. Well, since you said your magic attack comparatively is a bit lower value for you out of any, I would right now I like 99% sure say yes, because reboot passive is changing, which means comparatively the damage links will get more efficient.
It'll be more valuable.
And your magic attack, especially as a Kanna, is on the lower end because you have so much of it. So I would say most likely yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I missed flag race. Well, fuck off. Oh, I could have AFK, whatever. Yeah, so I would say almost ubiquitously yes, but again, once you do the update on the calculator, right? I'm sure the calculator will be updated once the reboot passive hits and everything. Should be able to show very clearly what the difference would be. Yeah, but I'll guess that on top of also getting the 40% boss damage. I hope that's a good motivator for you to be like, because we looked at how expensive all these other upgrades are. If you can see like getting 15% crit rate and 40% boss damage as like comparative to what all these other upgrades are versus how much time spent it is, right? Even if you don't like it, a lot of it is just a little bit every day. You know, it doesn't even have to be like a whole totem every day, right? Because I think for a lot of my characters, once they were like prepped and like funded, I think for most of them it was like 1 totem. No, 2 totems, I think, from 140 to 200. So that's 4 hours.
So I've heard.
Yeah. So, and that was a while ago. So maybe characters are stronger now, some hitboxes, there were some reworks and stuff. But yeah, I can't imagine that it's like more than like an hour and a half maybe per day. So if you do like a little bit more than an hour to an hour and a half per day, because it seems like you play a lot.
I used to. I'm actually pulling out my homework right now. When I finish this call, I'm about to be grinding it out. But
yeah, so
one day, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a matter of slow and steady. And definitely some events, you know, like you get level up potions, you throw those at a character that you don't really like. There's a Terra Burninator, right, for the Lara pre-creation. Any character that you're really not looking forward to whatsoever, throw it on that one. And then slowly even it out. Because we're talking purely about the grid filling now. We're not even talking about all of the extra link skill bonuses as well, right?
That's true. The Legion bonuses, that's what they are.
Yeah, well, the Legion bonuses, but I think you have some level 3 links that you can still get as well, right?
Yes, yeah, like Arc Link, that kind of stuff.
Like that's an extra 5%. Fury Unleashed, that's an extra 5%. So now we're already talking about 50% boss damage.
Yeah.
There's an extra little bit of IED in Lumi. You can always use that. Yeah. Night's Watch is no longer necessary, so that one doesn't have to go all the way. Thank God. A lot of people not a huge fan of Mihail's. Yeah, those are the most important ones, I think, right? Oh, you don't use unfair advantage when you're bossing?
No, I
because the ID.
get more from the ID from Bravado.
Yeah. Is it better than the Thief's Cunning?
Thief's Cunning over unfair advantage?
Yeah, well, it seems like you're using Thief's Cunning now, right? Would unfair advantage not be better?
Unfair advantage is only when it's like has a debuff, and
you have like 6 debuffs though on Kanna, don't you?
From what I've heard, the reason why Thief's Cunning is so good is server lag. Actually.
Yeah. I heard that if you get server lag, it can last quite a lot.
Duration.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, I guess I don't know what the exact percentage is. That would have to be, people who did the numbers on that. If they've checked, like other Kannas have checked, because again, like whether DPS or DPM heavy, that'll affect it as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll have its own effects. And the other ones, I guess Judgment is still good because your critical damage isn't that high either, right?
No, I don't have all those like extra Legion effects for the crit damage.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to see specifically again if the damage changes and the quote-unquote reduced efficiency of critical damage. There might actually be a moment where like unfair advantage actually gets better than Judgment. Because it is only 4% versus 12%, right? Which, if you're going to be higher than the boss, so it's not going to apply to the higher levels of Black Mage, but it's going to apply to everything else. If you're looking at 12% damage under the new reboot passive versus the 4% crit, that might be closer than you think. So, but again, that might be like one question for the list for the for the calculator once you get all the numbers back in there. When it comes to like min-maxing on the old link skills. But the server lag is definitely a thing. I don't like relying on that, so I'm just like I'm gonna pick I usually pick unfair advantage just to make sure that I have it. But that's true.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, all the other ones seem pretty locked in. Yeah, Bravado, it'd be cool if you wouldn't need the Bravado, because it's only 10%.
Yeah, eventually
IED.
once I get all the other link skills to level 3, Bravado will be out of date, as well as like the IED that I get from from Lightwash will help keep up for that.
Yeah, because it's part of a bigger chunk. Yeah, maybe if your hyperstats, you get a higher level, you get enough hyperstats to maybe go a little bit higher on IED there. Because you had what? I think
I have 12 on 12 IED right now.
Yeah, 12 is already pretty. Yeah, 13 is when you start getting really sweaty. Then again, the critical damage being only like a 1% over 10 kind of loses its efficiency there as well versus the IED on a bigger chunk. But again, that's like calculator level shit. I'm not going to pretend to be able to do those maths in my head. Too many moving parts, too many calculations behind the scene.
Those were the recommended hyperstats that were given to me when I was like half 18 and half 21. I haven't updated the calculator since I did all 21s and a few 22s.
Yeah.
So I'll end up putting my stats into a calculator soon.
Yeah.
So I figure out the specifics on everything.
Yeah. Do you have the link to the big calculator, the one where you can put everything for your whole account in?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because it was like available, I think, for Patreons for a while, but now he made it like fully available again for everyone, so everyone can use it again. I'm sure he's gonna keep it up to date and all that stuff. Yeah, I keep doing those Sacred Power dailies. Hopefully you get new areas and extra Sacred Power dailies so we can work that a little bit faster, because God, does that level slowly. Holy shit. It takes forever to level.
Tell me about it.
But, it's extra stat on top of 50k, so, I mean, I guess it's okay with being a little bit slow, but... Yeah. You've got the... Oh, yeah, you had the Blink maxed, right? Yeah. You using that a lot?
Yes. Yeah, it's great for Gloom and Black Mage. The float and 30 attack now.
Right. Yeah, that's really nice actually. Yeah. Oh, this is your will setup? Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Because you've got the Reckoner Reflection Nut in there, so I'm guessing this is the will the will setup. Yeah. So use the damage over the healing one for will. You find it more useful? I guess your survivability isn't much of a problem anymore. Probably really
No,
fast
yeah,
runs, right?
especially because of healing fams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We're kind of brain dead, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you're like, oh, it takes a while to heal, and then suddenly your bar just like, it just fills up. And then you're looking for the cooldown. Yeah. Do you get extra benefit out of mana overload on a leveled up slot? Does it give any? Does it give
Yeah,
more?
extra final damage. There's
Okay.
actually no difference from 21 to 29. It's only like in increments of 10.
Oh,
on that
right. Just,
overload.
you need to hit that exact 30 for that last 1%. What is it,
Yeah.
like 12% or something? Or like 13?
I think it's 13,
Yeah.
but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's something like that, yeah. Cool. I guess that new change with the mana refill is pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, man.
I bet that, yeah.
Huge go.
It's always pretty yikes when you're like, okay, what is the what is the time where I can press? Because I think the main thing is that when you're a Kanna and you put down the barriers, your regeneration gets pretty slow, right? So then you rely
yes.
a little bit more.
Unless you put it down on a vein.
Right, yeah, because then it regenerates plus consumes, so it kind of evens out. Or does it just not consume at all anymore?
But, like, it just consumes the mana vein basically.
Yeah.
But it's because the veins have a wider range of effect now.
Yeah.
I don't have to really.
Oh yeah, they changed that too. Yeah.
Nowhere anymore.
Those well-deserved Kanna buffs after all those years of struggling. I'm happy for you guys. How did you react when you saw the balance changes?
Oh man, I was so excited.
Yeah,
as well as what is it? We got Haku and Doppelganger, as well as the Bubble, are insured by buff freezers.
Ah, yeah. I never understood why certain toggles would not be saved by buff freezers. That was always so enerving to me, because I've been doing Project CRA on like a bunch of different characters. And then you're like, someone's like, oh, the toggle's off. It's like, why would the toggle be off? I have buff freezers. Oh, wouldn't you know the toggle is off? It's so weird to me why they would do that, but you know, there you go. After a few years, it might be fixed. You actually have maxed Mystic Door. This is some dedication. Wow, I didn't even...
I had an extra node, so I figured I'd max things for the lulls.
Does it give bonus stats?
Yeah, actually 5. I put it on for GPQ because we have a shit ton of decents. So
5 bonus stats. Talking to me about being sweaty. Holy shit. Maxing out Mystic Door for the 5 stats.
It was free, man.
Yeah, it's free, yeah. Oh, you're not looking forward to GPQ change, I guess. All of that. Yeah. You're losing a lot of final damage too, right? Not going in solo.
Yeah. They will also, because they won't have domain.
Yeah, across the board. Yeah, if your guild relies pretty heavily on like having a lot of supports, like a lot of shades and Kannas, then it's gonna shift the balance. Plus, not being able to use the guild skills inside is in general gonna change the numbers a lot. And it's only like a 2-minute rotation, I think, as well. So, like a fire poison.
Yeah, that'll be. It will definitely be interesting to see. How react to that.
Yeah, I think the top guilds will still stay the top guilds, but we'll probably see a little bit of, closing the gaps, I think, which is good. Yeah, other than that, you seem like pretty future-proofed and stuff. Easier. I blacked out the links and legion effects that I don't use. All right, this is the current stuff that you have, like the important ones. Yeah. Yeah, I saw most of them in the. Yeah, it's all about like. Yeah, so if you do get, like, at this point, I guess Master Craftsman and Meisters, that's all kind of whatever for you, right? So that can all go into another character, start slowly funding. Yeah. Yeah, you probably have a pile of Monster Park potions. It should be pretty easy to just find one at a time. Oh, I love these. Finally found someone with worse character IGNs than me. DA Terra Link 45. BT Link 419237. Nice. Because obviously BT Link was already taken with a bunch of numbers, so you have to delve into the 6 digits. Yeah.
Mashed my keyboard.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, now my Dao's Mule 38 doesn't look that bad anymore. With PH Link, Phantom is typically abbreviated by PH if people do. Pathfinder, no. No. Yeah, and the other side effect of course is that you're gonna see your Legion raid power go up by a lot. Level is a very important part of Legion raid power, and could you see that as well, right?
Yeah.
Like your 210s are like 10, 11 mil, right? And then your 140s are probably like closer to what, 3 or something?
3 mil.
Yeah,
Yeah, 3 mil. Yeah, my raid power is like super low. I barely have enough to get fully buy out the 30-minute Mezzo coupons, and then have just enough for like 2 30-minute damage coupons.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it. Just from I have to do Legion dailies to actually make up for that. But raw, I get
like
about
a
100
pleb.
points a day.
Imagine having to do Legion dailies like a commoner. No, but yeah, people see 6K and be like, "Oh my god, so many coins!" But you know, you can blow through that in a month if there's like an event, and then you're just completely broke. That's not a huge.
Man, we need
buffer.
another Umbra.
Yeah, you want to spend them so badly. But yeah, once you have that like 8K going in, you'll basically double your Legion raid power, maybe even more than that, and then you'll be way more cushy when it comes to being able to use. You know, you just throw down. You know, you're doing some dailies. You just throw out some coupons here and there. You don't have to worry about it at all anymore, and that security is also really valuable. So that's a good, you know, because you know you don't like Legion, but all of that. Plus the buffs, plus comparative advantage compared to all the other stuff. Hopefully, that whole package, and you know, you don't have to do it tomorrow. It can be 6 months from now. It doesn't have to be, you know, that pushy. So
yeah, exactly.
Hopefully, all of that makes it feel a little bit less pressure. But yeah, like set aside a time. If it's something that you just really dread doing, what I would either do is, you know, just in the beginning of the day, be like, either do it at the start and get it over with. Or be like, I don't feel like doing it today, and they'd be like, okay, I'll just do it tomorrow. You know, one of the two. And then if you didn't do it yesterday, make sure you do it that day, so you at least make some progress. And if you did do it the day before and you're not feeling it, skip a day, whatever. But keep it as like a higher level priority, I guess, because you don't have any arcane symbols dailies to do, right? So it's kind of just a replacement for that. You're doing Sacred Power and some Legion. And then dailies and whatever bosses you have, and then, you know, events maybe. It'll probably help you cap for the event as well on those characters, so in a way it takes a little bit of time away from your Kanna as well. Maybe. Silver linings. Trying to sell it to you, you know? But yeah, no, I think with everything we went over, it probably is pretty much sold at this point. All right. Any clarifications? Any other questions you had?
Hold on one more. Oh, really? Okay, yeah. I'll be on my way.
Oh, I think the timing is good on that one. You have to go.
So, apparently, the place that I'm working at here is now closed. It has been closed for 20 minutes. So
oh, you just chilling there.
Yeah.
Nice. So like the janitor's gonna sweep you out, kind of thing.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I'm packing up my stuff right now.
All right. Yeah, if anything does come up, I mean, I'll upload it to YouTube. You can always look it back. If something does come up, you can hit me up while the stream's live, or hit me up on Discord if it's a bit more complicated. But yeah, I think just going through the calculator and everything, most of the things will either be confirmed, or where I was like, I'm not sure. One of the two options will probably be clearer. And yeah, just a little bit of Legion a day. I know it right now. It seems like a whole lot of work, and it is. But you're gonna look back in like 3 months and be like, "Damn, I'm really happy I did that," because everything else is just getting really expensive.
There's a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if that helps, just writing out like what all the benefits will be, because even just saying 40 boss and 15% crit rate is still not like the whole picture, right? It'll be like a bunch of magic attack. It'll be all the member bonuses. It'll be the extra 10% from the link skills, right? If you make that list, the more you put on there, the more it'll be like, damn, this is really worth your time. You know? All right.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I'm gonna head out. Thanks for this. This is really helpful.
Yeah, make sure you don't get into any trouble there. Yeah. Well, good luck with everything, and we'll see you around.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
All right. Have a good one.
See ya.
Bye. All right, so he was, I think, somewhere after work in some kind of diner that apparently closed 20 minutes ago. So didn't want to get him into any trouble with the local authorities or anything. So yeah, so again, another pretty high level Kanna. But as you can see, that just because you're far in the game doesn't mean that, oh, you know everything about the game and everything is simple. It doesn't mean that even for me, it gets hard to say like, oh, this is obviously where you want to go, right? I have to use calculators. We have to use external tools and like computers to generate simulations so that we can say like, okay, this seems like the place to put your efforts towards. This seems like the place where you can give a push and get the best results. And again, we have to work by averages and by estimations on when events are coming. That's the big stuff. So yeah, if you're in a similar position, or if you feel like you should know more about the game because of how far you are, but you're feeling insecure about that, don't worry. Like, you know, everyone needs a little bit of help or need a little fresh eyes to look at the situation at any point. And yeah, hopefully you could see at some point Legion just becomes super value compared to all the other stuff, right? Like, we looked at the cost of like him getting his weapon to where he wanted it to. His secondary weapon was like a 60 bill expected cost to get that upgrade. Very good upgrade, but that's a lot of money. Like, how many hours does that take versus how many hours does it take you to get the Legion? And then the value of the Legion is, that's a guaranteed upgrade, right? You put the levels in, boom, you get that. This one, you could get lucky, you can get it faster, or you get unlucky and you need it even more, right? So when it comes to being risk aversive and all that, calculate that in, and the value of Legion is very real, especially if you want to main or if you want to have like multiple characters that you play a lot, right? You want to have like strong bossing mules, or you want to have 2 mains, as some people say, right? Then the value of Legion is even higher because all of your characters benefit from that big Legion and from those link skills. So take that into account. As always, YouTube comment if you would like to win one of these sessions for yourself. Usually these are paid sessions, and subscribers in my Twitch channel can also get them for the Moses, the channel points, if they have enough of that in the store. But yeah, that's usually where people get these. But if you want one for free, if you don't, if you have the patience, at the end of the month, I will draw 2 winners from all the comments of the progression sessions from the month of October. So if you're interested, leave a comment that you want to win. And if you don't want to wait, that's fine too. You can find a link in the description on where you can find all the information on how you can schedule one of these sessions with me. If you would like to join my guild on any reboot, there's also a link for that. Or if you want to send me data that helps me populate these commands with all of this information, it helps keep it up to date. There's also a link on where you can submit that data to me. It's a great help if you guys want to do that. All of these links, all of this information can be found through my Twitch channel, through the commands, almost 200 commands that I have with a bunch of information. So don't be a stranger. I stream every day, and maybe you'll catch me live one day. Other than that, I guess there's not much left to say except have fun with the events, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.